Hi, this is Matt's Rundown. If you enjoy movie reviews, trailer reactions, and anime reviews, you're in the right place. So why not subscribe and hit the like button down below.
Today we're going to be reviewing Netflix's Season 2 of 7 Deadly Sins, The Signs of a Holy War. It's the OVAs.
Yeah. So not really season 2, but anyways.
Yeah. So a little disclaimer here. We kind of messed up.
Kind of lots of messed up.
We got really into Season 1 and we watched one episode into the OVAs. So that rant that we had about the season ending at a very weird place, it didn't because we watched an OVA, so whoops.
Yeah, because that was the biggest complaint, I think, of season 1, is that it should have ended just before, when in reality it did.
Yes. So quick rundown of the episodes. Episode 1 is the Hawk episode, which if you want to know what happens...
Cute. Piggy.
Yes. Check out our anime review for Season 1. Around there you'll see the Hawk review. Episode 2, we saw Ben and Meliodas having a good fight. Halfway through that, Harley Quinn and Hauser have a little bit of a fight, and Harley Quinn fights without magic, so you can imagine how quick that fight went. Episode 3, we had Diane and Harley Quinn going on a bit of a date.
Was cute.
And the final episode, we had Meliodas running an errand for Merlin.
I think in terms of what I liked about the OVAs is I felt like they did progress the characters in a way that made sense for the characters. Even though in the date one they regressed back to the status quo, which was kind of annoying. But it was still sweet and it was in line with what they would have actually done.
That also is kind of my problem with OVAs. Because everything they do, if it progresses, they have to regress back. Because it's not actually part of the story. So I hate how inconsequential OVAs actually are.
I think it's just a little bit of fun, especially while people are waiting for the full seasons. I would much rather they make a couple of OVAs that are just for the fun of it than to rush through the process of filming the next season and give us rubbish.
And I do fully understand the reasons for it, and I agree that's a good reason to make them. And they were fun, they were interesting, they were light-hearted. But I really want to get back into the meat of it, and yeah.
I think overall, despite the fact that, yes, it's inconsequential for the most part, it was still interesting and it was still fun. And they didn't make any of the characters do stupid stuff that they wouldn't normally do.
And I can honestly say it wasn't not worth a watch. So watch it, it's a little bit of fun. Gil Thunder may be a bit of out of character, but we're not really sure what his real character is. So, because he went from the stoic knight in the season to a gushing fanboy. But we never got to really see his real personality, so maybe that's more in line with who he is.
For me, I thought the gushingness is exactly what I would expect Gil Thunder to be, because he grew up as a little boy admiring Meliodas. In the time we've seen him in season 1, he's essentially been bewitched. He's been forced to be the bad guy in order to save his princess, which unfortunately we don't see much in this
Did we see
4
her at all?
episode. I think maybe a glimpse one.
That fight was pretty cool. It was violent as hell. But when you've got two characters like that, it can be violent.
The fight was okay for me. I think the funniest part is when Meliodas took off Burn's arm and beat him with his own arm.
Yes. I don't like King Harley Quinn so much. And having a whole episode centered around him and will he, won't he with Diane. And then they make progress and then regress again. That probably was the worst of the lot for me.
I actually take a little of that back because I feel like there was a little bit of progress despite the regression. Because in the past episode, she didn't remember their time together. When this episode, she makes it very clear that she does. Or at least she remembers some of it, and that still ends off being like that in the next episode. Well, at the end of the episode, sorry.
But because he now doesn't remember that she possibly remembers, that we can go into the next season a clean slate and not actually worry about what happened, yeah.
I hope she gets to keep her pills that make her small at least part of the time.
Yeah. Did we see her giant at all? No.
I don't think she was giant at all throughout the OVAs. I like to see the fact that she's still quite strong and everything, despite the fact that she's not a giant now.
Yes. And Merlin's terrifying. That punishment she gave Gil Thunder's stalker, she's terrifying.
And shows you how strong she is, which is probably why we haven't seen her fight very much.
No, she's done almost nothing.
I'm looking forward to seeing more of her, hopefully, in the next season.
We will, and we'll finally get to see the seventh sin.
Which sin are we missing?
We're missing the lion's sin of pride.
I kind of forgot we were missing one.
He probably is my favourite of the lot.
Oh, okay, cool.
Him and Meliodas, those two, but yeah.
I like Ben, and I like King, which is strange because you dislike King.
Yes, very strange. It's probably going to be covered in the first episode of the next season, but the after credit scenes were probably the most important thing, and the only probably reason to watch this is because we saw the Grandmasters and they opened the gates of hell.
Yeah. So if you don't really want to watch the whole season, just go to the after credit scenes just to stay clued up.
But I suspect we'll just get a complete recap of that in the first episode.
Probably.
So I don't think it's... If you're literally going to be skipping to the end, I think don't even bother.
So what rating would you give it then?
I'm biased because I don't like OVAs, so I'm going to give it a 6.
I'm going to give it a 7, so it gets a 6.5. And I think if you really enjoy the show, you will enjoy the OVAs because they give you a little bit more personal interaction between the characters, which is what I like.
So let us know in the comments down below. If you've seen the OVAs, which one was your favourite?
My favourite was a tie between Hawk and the date between King and Diane.
My favourite was Ban and Meliodas fighting, obviously.
Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button down below. Bye.
Later.